Have you ever left your kids at home alone and went shopping or to a party? How did you feel leaving them all alone? If you have experienced this before, I am sure you understand what it feels like to be in the position of the parents in today's story. Welcome back to our channel. In today's story, we will be looking at the lives of two young siblings who were often left alone at home. Make sure you stay till the end of the video to find out why the mother never left her son and daughter alone again. They had packed a basket with all their favorite foods and drinks and were ready to set off for the park. However, as they were about to leave, John received an urgent call. His boss wanted him to come to the office to fix a problem that had arisen unexpectedly. He felt trapped because his presence was needed both at home and at work. Mary tried her best to keep the mood light, singing songs and telling jokes to keep her children entertained during the drive. When they arrived at the park, Mary found a nice, shady spot under a tree and laid a blanket for them to sit on. Sarah, who had also come to the park with her own kids, approached Mary and asked, "Hey Mary, can you please watch my kids for a bit? I need to go to the restroom and I can't take them with me." "No problem," Mary replied, offering her a reassuring smile. Sarah thanked her profusely and hurried off to the restroom. She unpacked the basket and arranged the food and drinks for the little ones. They ran around the equipment, slid down the slides and swung higher and higher on the swings, enjoying the freedom of playing without their mother's watchful eye. Peter and Lisa were too busy playing with the other kids their age, and Mary was left alone with her thoughts. "Your jokes aren't funny and we want you to stop." Joe, who had a reputation for being a bit of a joker, started making inappropriate jokes and comments towards the children, which made them feel uncomfortable and uneasy. Filled with anger and resentment, he decided to teach her a lesson she wouldn't forget. It was another beautiful day in the village. The sun was shining bright and the sky was filled with fluffy white clouds, which was a perfect day for a picnic. He grabbed Peter's shoulder and said, "Oh, so you want to defend your mom and dad? Well, I guess I won't tell you about what happened last month when your mom and dad went out and left you guys alone at home. Yeah, that was pretty irresponsible of them, wasn't it?" The guilt of not being able to fulfill her role as a mother properly because of her job weighed heavily on her mind. Peter, who had been quiet until now, stepped forward and said, "That's enough, Joe." When she saw Peter and Lisa standing far away from the other children, she called them over, concerned about what had happened. "You're not going to say bad things about our mom and dad. Back off," Peter exclaimed, his voice trembling with sadness and betrayal. But seeing the worried look on her face, he broke down and poured his heart out. "Your dad never told me that he left you alone. I promise we'll never be apart again." "I love you so much," Mary said, hugging her son tightly. She had no idea that John had left the children alone, and she felt terrible for not being there for them when they needed her the most. The community also played a crucial role in supporting the family through thick and thin, offering help and understanding when needed. It also highlights the importance of honesty, trust and communication within families to build a strong and lasting bond. Please remember to like, share and subscribe to show your support. And don't forget to leave a comment below with your thoughts, experiences or suggestions. We appreciate your feedback and look forward to seeing you in the next video. Well, then I won't tell you about what happened last week when your mom went to that party with your dad and how he came back late because he forgot his wallet. I guess you'd rather not know about that, huh? They understood that their actions had a profound impact on their children's lives and they were committed to providing them with the love, care, and support they needed to grow up happy and healthy. She lay down on the blanket, closed her eyes and drifted off to dreamland. She longed for a change, a chance to be a full-time homemaker and devote herself entirely to her family. The birds sang merrily in the trees, and the flowers swayed gently in the breeze, creating a peaceful atmosphere that invited relaxation and joy. A young couple, John and Mary, were preparing to spend the day outdoors with their two lovely children, a boy named Peter and a girl named Lisa. They had never known that their parents had left them alone before. Filled with betrayal and sadness, they confronted Joe. However, seeing the pleading look on Sarah's face and knowing that she could use some company, Mary agreed. After some deep thoughts, he turned to his wife, Mary, and said, "Honey, I'm sorry, but I have to go to the office." She called them over and explained to them that they would be staying with her friend's kids for a bit, emphasizing the importance of behaving well and listening to instructions. She looked down at her sleeping children and thought, "How am I going to manage this?" But seeing the disappointment on her children's faces, she knew she had to pull herself together. "I guess it's just me and you guys now," she said, shaking herself out of her thoughts. "Let's go have some fun at the park. I know it's a shame, but my boss needs me. You'll have to take the kids to the park alone today." "Oh, I wish I could just teleport myself to both places at once," he sighed, realizing he couldn't be in two places simultaneously. "You go handle your work. We'll have a great time at the park. Don't worry." John kissed her and the children goodbye, promising to meet them back home after finishing his work. Mary didn't want to dampen John's spirits, so she put on a smile and said, "Don't worry, John. I've got this." As soon as John's car disappeared around the corner, Mary felt a surge of anxiety mixed with exhaustion. The children, unaware of their mother's internal struggle, quickly got into the car and they were on their way to the park. While watching her children play, she couldn't help but think about how much she missed spending time with them. But these thoughts were interrupted by the arrival of a woman named Sarah, a close friend and neighbor. Mary hesitated for a moment, feeling torn between wanting to help her friend and the responsibility of taking care of her own children. "Of course, Sarah, you go ahead. I'll keep an eye on the kids here." Mary watched her leave and then turned her attention back to her own children. After Sarah's kids left with their father, Mary decided to take advantage of the situation to catch up on some sleep. Meanwhile, Peter and Lisa, feeling bored and restless, decided to explore the playground on their own. However, their fun-filled adventure took a sinister turn when they encountered a man named Joe, a close friend of the family who had also come to the park with his son. Lisa, being the brave and protective sister that she was, stepped forward and said, "Hey, Joe, knock it off." Joe, taken aback by Lisa's boldness, tried to make light of the situation with a forced laugh, but deep down he was annoyed by her for ruining his fun. He leaned closer to her and whispered, "Oh, so you want me to stop?" Lisa's eyes widened in shock and she quickly turned to her brother, Peter, for support. Joe, fueled by his anger, decided to push his luck further. Peter and Lisa were horrified as Joe revealed their parents' secret. "You shouldn't have told us this." "You're such a mean guy," Peter shouted, tears streaming down his face. "Yeah, you're not welcome here anymore," Lisa added, her voice trembling with anger and hurt. Joe, oblivious to the emotional turmoil he had caused the children, continued to taunt them, making them feel ashamed and humiliated. Meanwhile, Mary had woken up from her nap and was tending to her children, unaware of the hurtful things Joe had said to them. As the children approached, she noticed the tears on Peter's face and asked him, "What's wrong, sweetheart? Why are you crying?" Peter hesitated for a moment, unsure whether to tell his mother what Joe had said. Mom, I'm so ashamed of you. I heard from Joe that you and Dad left us alone at home before. How could you do that to us? Mary was shocked and saddened by her son's words. Oh, honey, I'm so sorry. Peter, comforted by his mother's apology and promise, slowly stopped crying and forgave her. From that day on, Mary and John promised to never leave their children alone again. As for Joe, he realized the error of his ways and apologized to the children for his hurtful words and behavior. This story serves as a reminder for all parents to prioritize their children's well-being and ensure their safety and happiness above all else. Thank you for watching this video. We hope you enjoyed it and learned something valuable.